Well, this is a wonderful opportunity for Sherry and I to be here with you all, and we always are blessed when we are here, and we are so thankful to be here again. I want to thank the elders for the wonderful opportunity afforded us, and also Michael kind of taking his slot. But this is exciting about being back here with you all. You all have helped in several ways, and the children that has been assisted by the ladies here, and the financial support given us through the years to purchase Bibles is just been tremendous, and in other ways as well. And so, I just want you to know that you're special in our hearts. The message we take is not just regional, it's global. And I am reminded of a passage in John chapter 8, verse 44. The crowds are all around Jesus, and this woman comes from behind him and grabs the hem of his garment. She has a problem. She's bleeding and it won't stop. The King James Version uses the word, says those two words, bloody issue. Issue has been expanded in our day and time because issue stands for a lot of things as people have come to me in ministry. One person told me, I'm burning candle at both ends. I don't know if I'm gonna survive. Or, me and my wife, we're just going through the motions, don't know if our marriage is going to last much longer. Or, I have this unforgiveness in my heart, and it's destroying not only me but my family, and I've got to find an answer to it. And this woman is saying, just grab the hem of his garment. He's the answer. No matter what, he's the answer. And initially she didn't maybe comprehend everything about Jesus, but she knew he was the answer. And as we go through life and our relationship develops and becomes deeper with the Son of God, we realize more and more he is the answer. And so what I share with you today about what we're doing in Africa, I just want you to know that it's the Father, it's the Son, and it's the Holy Spirit that is our motivating force to do what we are doing. And so I am thankful that I can share with you these wonderful, let me just make sure. I don't think, let me see, I've gone a little too fast maybe. Okay. We have had 621 baptisms this year. And we are thankful in spite of, we all understand COVID is global. And 3 additional churches have been planted. We've resumed limited worship just like yourself. We space out, we wear masks, we do what we have to do. But it has been tremendous that we have had such success. Do you know that last year before COVID hit, we had 78 people go with us to Africa. That's in spite of we haven't found a shortcut. And number 2, it's still expensive to go. This year, if we didn't have COVID, we would have had over 80 to go with us. People are seeing our work and they are so touched by what's happening. And so maybe in the future, we'll even have some from Cawson Street to go with us. I had to show you, this is missing some of the slides. I just, can you take over there? There is a slide that's supposed to come up here that's blank. And it is, unless it's been deleted, and I might have deleted it, but it's all right. This area right here in Zimbabwe, I just want you to know that it is going through the worst drought in 30 years. Between the drought and between COVID, it has been an unbelievable hard year in Zimbabwe. We have been able to raise over $30,000 just to keep 650 families alive, Christian families. And we are thankful for that. The rains have just started coming. They get their rains just in a certain time of the year, and then after that, it's done. So the rainy season is just beginning now. The reason I bring that up is that these were 9 people that came to be baptized. We had no water in the suburb. It's a city by the name of Bulawayo, has a population of 1.4 million, and currently they're getting water for 6 hours, 1 day a week. And so we had to truck in. We trucked in from our Partners for Africa Center. We filled our tank. We poured the water in, and we were able to immerse them into Christ. And the water wasn't wasted. I want you to know, because of all the baptisms we had, we need to purchase Bibles. And that's my one request to you all this morning. If anybody wants to make a dent, it's $10 a Bible. But we have most of the young people, 40 years and under, in Southern Africa speak English. But in the rural areas where we've had a lot of campaigns too, they don't speak English fluently, and so they want their Zulu Bibles or their Tonga Bibles as it is in Zambia. And so that's what we're doing right now. I do want you to see some of the Bibles that they have here, some of the new converts. This is a young man that's wearing the blue uniform, and he is a wonderful servant of God in northern South Africa in an area called Venda, and he's been working with the youth there. And these are new people that have just obeyed the gospel. So I'm telling you all of that because I want you to know the end game is not our good works. It's not that people get water. It's not that people get fed, and that's part of the work of Jesus Christ. But the end game is that they know Jesus and they have an opportunity to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. And that's our end game. But there are tremendous needs. Jesus fed people. Jesus healed people. And we want those good works to prevail in Southern Africa because they desperately need it. We are working in 5 countries now. We're in Zimbabwe, South Africa, Swaziland, Zambia, and the mountain kingdom of Lesotho. And if you went to Lesotho in July, you could snow ski. Really? Africa in July and snow? It's kind of weird, isn't it? But I want you to know that when Sherry and I began this Partners for Africa, with partners like yourself, we thought if we could do 50 wells in 10 years, that would be awesome. Well, you can see we've done 102 in 13 years. And who would have thought that we would have over this many people getting clean water every day? Do you know the opportunities that it gives us to share the gospel? Last year, before COVID, we had over 1,052 people immersed into Christ. And a lot of that came from our good works gave us the opportunity to share the gospel, because every place where we drill a well, it's not done randomly. We drill a well either where there's a congregation or where we are planting a congregation. It serves a purpose. I want to go back to this one because this was the 100th well, but you just have to see this face. Isn't it just a beautiful smile? This lady is in Zambia, and she had to walk 3 hours every day to go get water and bring it back to her home. 3 days, 3 hours every single day. That was part of her life. Now she just walks 100 meters to the well. She does not have indoor plumbing, but she is happy. She is happy. How blessed we are and how thankful we should be, living in the country we live in. This was at a school in Zambia with 300 children that came at 8 o'clock in the morning and left at 3 in the afternoon and got no water. They had no water then. Those kids wouldn't drink a thing until they got home. And so we provided the school with water, and because of that, we are allowed to go into the public school and teach the Bible twice a week because of that. Isn't that fantastic? This is at one of our wells taken 3 weeks ago in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. Look at all the people lined up with their buckets to come get water. And I want you to know that this church right here opens up 6 in the morning and closes at 6 at night, and it is constant. And we thank the Lord that the drilling was done so well that we have not run out of water. Thankful. So here we have the benefits for church, family, and community is what the well does. Can I just point out a couple of things? Number one, in Africa, you know who goes to get the water? It's young girls. 12, 13, 14, 15, maybe 16 and 17. Those are the ones that go get water. So if you've got to spend 3 or 4 hours a day going getting water, guess what happens to young girls? They get no education. So every time we drill a well in the community, we are sending girls back to school. And what chance does a young girl have without an education? And so we are thankful for that. And then, of course, the opportunity it gives us to share about living water, as the woman at the well is the wonderful example. I do want you to know that when we were here 3 years ago, probably it was right at 3, we were on the verge. We had set plans to build a high school. We had also finished a clinic that had opened, but we had made the emphatic decision that we weren't going to build anything in Africa unless it can be supported in Africa. So we raised the funds to build it here, but it has to sustain itself. Mission work without self-propagation is not going to be lasting. So this is our first income stream. We have land and we're growing vegetables. And do you know that our vegetables right now are supporting our clinic? It is wonderful. And you just thought you saw a cabbage. Oh man, I'm so sorry. That cabbage picture is not there. But the cabbages are about that big. And I'll tell you why. I'm not exaggerating. Is it on there? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I can't see it on here, but it's on there. So that's a cabbage. Okay, you just thought you knew a cabbage. So when you drill a well where they've never farmed before, the nutrients are still there. So we've got this one income stream. Okay, here's our second income stream. We have planted seedlings. This has happened 6 weeks ago. We're going to grow fruit groves. So we planted 55 Valencia orange seedlings and 55 mango grafted seedlings. These are some of our brothers who are part of the staff at the school that are planting them. This is some more of it. Okay. This next one is our cattle. So when we were here last time, we had about 40 head of cattle. Now we have about 156 head of cattle, and the 2 bulls that we bought are doing their job. We want to get to 300, 400 head of cattle, and then we will have a sustained income annually of between $30,000 to $60,000. That will be funding the school. Okay, and so we are related about that. The ACT project is our Africa Container Transport, and our son is leading that affair. We have let me just back up just a minute there. So that's our project. Who would have thought that Walmart would have given us so many boxes by now? Look how many containers. Do you know our goal was the first year? If we could ship 1 20-foot container a year to Africa, wouldn't that be wonderful? Well, I want you to know we're 13 years in it. You do the math. And we thought a 20-foot. We are doing 40-foots. We've already shipped 3 this year in spite of COVID. Well, we got 1 more that we're loading, but we've got 2 that have arrived already. I had a guy, I was in Columbus, Georgia a few weeks ago, and this guy said to me, he said, Dorian, I just retired from Walmart, 31 years. And he said in the Columbus area, population about 300,000, he said the number 1 seller out of all the Walmarts is bananas. And on an average, we sell 70 boxes a day. So I could believe it for all the banana boxes we've been getting. So this container is just arriving in Lesotho, the Mountain Kingdom, okay? And this arrived a few weeks ago. So 1,250 banana boxes on 1 container. And here is the church building after they unloaded it. Now, I do want you to know that within 13 days, within 10 days, they delivered to 13 churches boxes of clothes, textbooks, Bibles, Now, the reason I'm telling you that is because I want you to see the transport. Now, that's transport. And they just load up their little trucks and do you know that they have some guys that walk and jog behind it? Because when they get up into the mountains, they said, Brother Flynn, we're not going to lose one box. and they didn't. So you had to see that. We have a church, a congregation in Sheffield, Alabama that has ceased to exist, and we're sorry for that. They gave us their building so that we can collect. They said because of the mission work, we would like this building to be used for the work of the churches of Christ overseas. And the building was filled with pews. So we've been taking times to send the pews overseas, So this building, the Abia Church of Christ in Maseru, Lesotho, got 4 padded pews. And Brother Adonsi, the minister, said, Brother Flynn, I want you to know that this is his words, only the seniors can sit on the pews. We have told the young people it's not for them. And so I joked with my wife. I said, probably if it was in the States, you'd have to have proof by using your AARP card. We shipped this container. It's just about to arrive. And this was given to us by the Mars Hill High School. It's a Christian Church of Christ school in Florence, Alabama. Gave us all these desks and chairs for our new high school, about 120 or so, and it's just about to arrive, and we're really excited about that. This is our son and daughter. We have 3 children, but this is our oldest. Our daughter is the oldest, and then our son Lee. Our daughter handles our IT, and our son handles the ACT project, and we're appreciative. They're holding up uniforms given to us by the Jackson Christian High School. That's going to become one of the schools there. The Amazon Christian Academy is going to open in January. Now, before I show you some pictures on it, I just want you to know that in this particular area of Zimbabwe, they have never had a high school, public or private. Those generations in Africa have never graduated from high school. There are 5 primary schools in the area. So why are you telling us that, Dorian? Because I want you to know that every one of those graduates from now on until the Lord comes back is coming to our Christian high school, and we're going to be sharing Jesus Christ with them every single day. They have no other choice. We're going to be loving and caring, but I'm just saying we're in a strategic position here. Not only that, we're beginning with these freshman students. And by the time they are seniors, we will have our first 2 years of university. This fine Christian man who's led us in singing today goes to Freed-Hardeman University. That's what we're going to have. That's our plans. So we're going to have these boys and girls for maybe 9 or 10 years to share the gospel, and then they're going to go out into Southern Africa. So it is so exciting to me. It still gives me goosebumps, So here's our freshman classroom wing. We're going to start with 1 grade a year, and we'll add a grade every other year, every year. Just want you to know this too, that we have a church in Florence, Alabama that's going to come and build a classroom wing every year, and they've committed for 5 years. That's our school. The reason I wanted to show you that's where the faculty is. It's finished, but I want you to know that we'll never be on the grid, that we're going to be, we're going to have solar right from the start, and the school does right now. That's the faculty housing finished. I wanted to show you this because I want you to see the dish. The principal of the school said to me, Brother Flynn, I cannot believe the whole world is coming to the bush. because of new technology. And so this is our faculty. I won't be naming them all, but I do want you to know that every one of them, they're all Zimbabweans. They're all faithful Christians. They all have a BA in Bible, and they all have their masters in their particular field. This is the principal, a second generation Christian, and his wife Martha, who will handle our IT. And these are some of the students from the primary schools that will be coming to our high school. This is the church that we have planted on the campus. We have 140 in attendance right now. We had a container arrive, and it had Jif peanut butter. And I grew up in Africa, born and raised in Africa. We had peanut butter, I thought, until I came to the States and tried Jif Extra Crunchy. That's the food we've been distributing. I mentioned it to you, and I just want you to know that we've been able to do that. And then those are some of the children that have benefited who were starving. You know, they were getting one meal every 2 or 3 days, and because we were able to do that. And I do want you to know, because of our good works, because of the good name we have, that the police and the military in Southern Africa have let us distribute because they know who we are. And so we were able to feed these Christian families. Just wanted you to see some of those kids, just precious. And it's rice, beans, and that, you know, and they're so thankful. Martha made masks for the children. And there's some of them taking food home. That's one of the congregations, Brother Justin Zaziba. One of those bags, or 10 kg, it's 22.2 pounds. It'll feed a family of 5 for about a month. When I was 14, a guy came into my classroom. It was, I say my classroom, because that's the school I was going to, and he had moved from Zambia to Zimbabwe. And his name was Colin Van Dyke. He was quite a rebel. Colin had 2 pens in his pocket, one pen to write with, and the other pen was hollow. Well, it really wasn't. It had a cigarette in it, so that break time he could smoke his cigarette, you know. He drank quite a bit, and I remember when I brought him home, my mother said, "Dorian, who in the world are you hanging out with?" One Sunday, as was usual for our family, my father and I went and picked up people for church. Well, there was a family right next to where Colin had moved that we picked up for church. And so Monday morning, Colin comes to me and says, "You go to church?" Mockingly. "I saw you in the car. You go to church?" And I said, in my best evangelistic method, because I wasn't that committed at that time, "I dare you to come with me." And he said, "Okay." When we had his Zoom memorial about 5 weeks ago, I said, it wasn't that he just met Jesus. It was the decision he made after that. I am going to live for Jesus. And he gave his life to Christ, and him and his wife planted churches in Swaziland, and he became the director of the Bible school there. All because it wasn't the fact that he just knew Jesus intellectually. It's because he had a relationship with Jesus Christ. And for all the work that we are doing in Africa, and for what I want of you all here, of course, is that we share Jesus so that people might get to know and adopt the vision that he has for the world. And so it's just like that African traveling on that road to Gaza, reading from the Messianic prophet. And after Philip explains it to him what he was reading, because he didn't understand it, he says, you know, "See, here is water." And the reason he said that is because he understood that there's a new life here. There's a new birth going on. And you know the story. He was immersed and he went on his way rejoicing. And that message is global and will always be as long as we are drawing breath on this earth. So thank you for the opportunity to speak this morning, but thank you for all that you do to glorify God in this community and globally. And if you need to receive Jesus Christ through obedience to his word, we invite you as we stand and sing.